He spent more than 2 decades behind bars for the murder of his mother, but Bruce Lisker's conviction was overturned and he was released.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Alana Pratt, and with me today is Jerry Weinstock. Now, he's the stepfather of Bruce Lisker. This man, Jerry, is the man that Bruce came home to after 26 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And Jerry's here today to share with us the joyful redemption. So, Jerry, tell me about this joyful redemption.
The joyful redemption is what I call the extraordinary events that have unfolded in the past 26 years that all started with a murder.
Right.
In 1983, Bruce Lisker was a 17-year-old teenager, and he was convicted of murdering his mother in their Los Angeles home and was sentenced to life imprisonment. Now, his father, Bob Lisker, was so tormented by the loss of his wife, the murder of his wife, and the loss of his only son, that this very conservative attorney, ex-Marine, Kiwanis president, pillar of the community, was driven to attempt to contact the spirit of his dead wife to find out who killed her.
Wow.
Because he believed Bruce was innocent.
Right.
And that set the stage for the afterlife communications his second wife, Joy, wrote about. After he died, she talked to him for approximately 2 years, almost on a daily basis after he died, and she published it in a book called Love Ever After: How My Husband, Bob Lisker, Became My Spirit Guide.
Wow. So that makes sense for Bob and Bruce
Right.
and Joy, but I still don't know how you fit into the picture.
Okay, well, besides giving Joy spiritual wisdom and helping her rebuild her life and heal her grief,
Yes.
Bob gave her a 12-step program to find new love in her life. And after 6 weeks of using it, guess what? She found me.
Well, it works. You're going to have to teach me
So
this.
we were literally a match made in heaven. Talk about a match made in heaven.
Wow.
We were gloriously happy. We were so happy we taught 12 Steps to Finding Your Soulmate at the Learning Annex and elsewhere because we wanted other people to find the love and happiness that we'd found.
Beautiful.
We talked to Bruce on the phone almost daily from prison. We visited him many times.
Yes.
And after 10 years, Joy succumbed to breast cancer. In 2007, Easter, actually Good Friday. And I was devastated. She was the love of my life.
Yes.
And in my grief, I didn't know what to do.
Yes.
I didn't want to live. And she began to talk to me. She began to communicate with me from the afterlife. And she was my spirit guide in the same way Bob had been hers. And it was unbelievable, but it was happening. And she led me slowly on a healing journey, an incredible, extraordinary journey. And ultimately, she found someone, like in, the last scene in the movie Ghost, where he uses Whoopi Goldberg's body to kiss Demi Moore.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
she found someone, a willing medium, if you will,
Yes.
through whom she literally loved me back to life.
Oh, my word.
It's an extraordinary experience and story, and I had to write about it. And I wrote a memoir called Joyride, my year of grieving joyfully, and how my late wife loved me back to life. And that's not all. A few weeks after I finished Joyride,
Yes.
a federal judge overturns Bruce Lisker's conviction. And after 26 years,
Yes.
he's released. And he comes home to live with me. And it was a great, that was something that Bob and Joy had been dreaming about, and I had been dreaming about.
Yes.
And Joy didn't live to see it, but I was there. And it was a great honor and privilege to mentor him back to life.
Blessing.
Yeah. I had to show him how to use an ATM and how to use a credit card.
Wow.
These things weren't there in the beginning.
Sure.
One of the first things we did was go to the Apple Store and get an iMac and an iPod, because that's what he wanted.
Wow.
And while he was living with me those first few months, I began to see the whole story in a much larger perspective. Bruce's father, driven by the murder and the terrible tragedy he experienced, opened up to some guidance and became a spirit guide for joy. Bruce's stepmother becomes a spirit guide, and she was his stepmother and mentor for 20 years, longer than his actual mother had been. This joyful redemption out of this Lisker family tragedy, this brutal murder, this wrongful conviction, this miscarriage of justice, like the lotus that grows out of the mud,
Yes.
the beautiful lotus, have emerged two memoirs, not one, but two memoirs about communication with the afterlife, about life after death. It's a mystery to me, but it's extraordinary, and I just have to share this with people.
This is extraordinary. But before we end, I want you to tell me the part about the rainbow.
Oh, right. The last time I visited Bruce in prison, the year actually that he was released, and I didn't know he was going to be released. We were leaving the prison, and there had been a thunderstorm, and suddenly this incredible rainbow appeared over the road near the prison. And there was a tree right in the middle, and we stopped the car, got out, and photographed it. It's on the website so people can see it. But I took that as a sign that he was going to be released, and ultimately it proved true. So that was sort of the joyful redemption, I guess.
Right there. Well, it
Yeah.
was clearly a sign
Yeah.
that these memoirs and this message needs to be shared with the universe.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoyed the books myself, very, very moved to my core, and also moved by your generosity. What I want all of you to understand is that Jerry has offered the first chapter of Joy's book for free to all of you. All you need to do is go to theliskerredemption.com, and you can download that free chapter right now, because Jerry's committed that you live your life to the fullest, that like him you're able to find the love of your life, and if you've lost a loved one, that you are able to heal your grief. So thank you again so much. You're an extraordinary man and a wonderful, beautiful story. Thank you.
Thank you, Alana, for having me.
My pleasure, and thank you for watching.